What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if I'm sounding a little nasally today. I'm a little bit sick. Also, just chopped off like all of my hair. This is the shortest it's been since I was like 6 years old. So super exciting. And this thing on my forehead, I explained in my giveaway video. Also, I'm running a giveaway right now, so if you want to enter that, go see my last video and give it an enter. There's some Gymshark and Lululemon involved, so probably want to go do that. But anyway, this video is a review of Gymshark's new Camo Seamless collection. I actually wasn't going to order this, but then like 2 days passed and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it was so pretty, so I just had to order it. And I got it in the jade green, is that what it's called? Sage green color, and it is so pretty. Spoiler alert guys, I love this set. I will, as always, be totally honest with you guys in this video on any things that I find wrong with the set. This is not sponsored, I am not a Gymshark athlete, so there's no reason why I would be promoting this product if I didn't actually like it. So let's just start talking about it. First things first, the prices. So this is something that really bothered me because this is the most expensive Gymshark set there is to date. I mean, sorry if I'm wrong on that, but from my experience, the most expensive leggings that I've purchased on Gymshark in the past were $55, and I believe that's the Energy Seamless and the Flawless Knit, which I did a review of if you want to check that out. But these Camo Seamless leggings are $60. And these are US dollars. I know that in different countries, they're different prices, so sorry about that, but if you are from the US, the leggings are $60 and the sports bra is $45. And I think the top is also $45. So if you want to get the full set, you're nearing about $150. And that's just a lot of money. A lot of you guys have been asking for dupes for this, and I will be doing a dupe video coming up. But these are super expensive, but if you are willing to invest in some activewear, I do think these are very high quality. But it is a little upsetting that Gymshark keeps raising their prices because, I mean, I think their flex leggings are in the $30 range, and 30 to 40, and these are 60. So that's a lot of money. The Camo Seamless collection has the leggings, the sports bras, and the long sleeve crop tops. So there are no like full length shirt options if you don't like showing any stomach at the gym. For us tall people, wearing a crop top and leggings can still be showing a lot of torso. So if you don't like to show any torso, then this collection doesn't have like a full shirt option for you. The colors are lavender gray, sage green, which I have, and then black. So talking about the leggings, so the material of these leggings, I'm just gonna read it because I don't feel like memorizing. It's a nylon polyester elastane blend, and the Vital Seamless and Energy Seamless, also by Gymshark, are also nylon polyester elastane blends, but different percentages. So it is definitely a different material and definitely feels like a different material. This is definitely one of Gymshark's like thicker fabrics compared to the Flawless Knit, which was like paper thin, but still actually mostly squat proof. These are definitely super thick. The waistband is super thick. It feels like more of like a winter legging putting it on. I don't know if like that like looks like anything, but like you could tell it's just like it's definitely a thick fabric. Let me go compare it to the ombre and flex. Let's compare some waistbands. So if you are wondering how the waistbands compare to others, in terms of height, I'd say that looks pretty darn close. Okay, so it's the same height. This is the camo, and this is a Gymshark ombre seamless, and the waistbands are the exact same height. So if you are looking for the same high rise as an Energy Seamless, by the way, these do hit me about like right above my belly button, as you see in the video, but the waistbands are different. This is the ombre seamless, and the ribbing is slightly more spread out, and you can also see it's just like a thinner, more flimsy waistband. To be honest, I really don't like the Gymshark ombre seamless waistband, but this waistband, as you can see, definitely has a little more thickness to it, a little more structure. The ribbing is closer together, see, farther, closer together, and I trust that these would not stretch out as much as the ombre seamless. That it's very flimsy. And in terms of the Vital Seamless, the waistband, okay, this is where the waistband starts. So it is the tiniest bit shorter than the Gymshark Vital Seamless waistband. But as you can see, the ribbing is a little closer. This is more closely ribbed, and this is also closely ribbed, but it looks thicker. As you can see, it looks like a slightly thicker waistband. It definitely feels a lot thicker than the Vital Seamless waistband, which I also don't love the Vital Seamless waistband, but this waistband feels really good. So it's thicker, more compressive, and it's not going to stretch out as much. And in terms of fabrics, it's definitely not like the Vital Seamless. The Vital Seamless has a very slick texture almost, and so we'll just get rid of that one. In terms of material composition, the camo and the ombre seamless are very similar, but let's see a little close up. This is a marl texture, and it's hard to tell if it's marl because it is camo, but it really doesn't look like marl. And it feels more cottony than the ombre seamless for sure. So definitely more of a cottony texture. So the most similar fabric to the Camo Seamless is the Gymshark Flex, but I feel like it is still thicker than the Gymshark Flex. The Flex is a pretty thick fabric, but I really feel like the camo is thicker than that. So it's more of like a winter legging. But in terms of like, rubbing your fingers along it, how does it actually feel? The Gymshark Flex is the closest fabric to the Camo Seamless for sure. Sometimes the Flex can be a little flimsy. This is definitely thicker, so it will give you a little more shape for sure. Also for the seams, I'm a dancer, so I need to be able to stretch and everything, and these seams felt very stretchy. Some other Gymshark seams can be really annoying and like very stiff, but these actually felt very stretchy, and it just has that like simple little gusset crotch in case y'all were wondering. But yeah, the seams are super stretchy and I approve. It definitely has somewhat of a compression feel, but in the waistband where it's super thick, I feel like it holds you in really well. But I didn't feel like it squished my butt at all, which is pretty rare for like a compression legging. I feel like the little like booty contour detail also helped with that, but I really didn't feel like I was like being squished down. It also didn't show any cellulite, which is great. So I feel like these are very thick leggings and they hide imperfections very well and like hold you in where you want to be held in. But I didn't feel like my butt was like squished down, which I know that is a pet peeve of mine and some other of you guys as well. And compared to the Flawless Knit, which I just reviewed, these definitely hide things a lot better. Like you could not really see underwear lines, you couldn't see cellulite, you couldn't see like, I don't know if anyone else has that little like double butt, it's like a little crease underneath your butt crease. We're just gonna be real right now, that happens to some of us. And you can't see that on these leggings, but I believe you could on the others. These come in size extra small to large, like almost everything else Gymshark. I wear a size small and everything Gymshark, and these fit exactly like any other small, so I say definitely true to size. The waistband is ribbed, so it's basically a very similar waistband to a lot of other Gymshark leggings, but it feels a little more structured, and I haven't worn it for long enough to tell if it's going to stretch out, but for some reason I feel like it's not going to stretch out because it's not the same fabric as the ombre seamless, which they do stretch out like nothing else. And I could see a little bit of stretching out with these. They also don't have that top band. It's the classic Gymshark waistband, very flattering, but I could see these stretching out a little bit, but they have not stretched out for me yet. As for the details, as you can see, the Gymshark logo on these is very subtle, which I love. I sometimes feel like Gymshark really like over logos, but you can see it's just like, it's very subtly in the fabric. Like it's not raised or anything. They literally just wrote Gymshark like within the camo, which I think is so cool. Like a really good design idea for them. And for the first time ever, I think, they have a booty scrunch. And this isn't like a booty scrunch that's like, wow, those leggings are up her butt, It's like, it's so subtle, and it's only about like an inch in length. And it's really just made by like a bunch of little it looks like embroidery stitches. It looks like little embroidery stitches, and sometimes with a seamless legging, your butt can kind of get like lost in it just because it just like, it adds no definition or anything. And this kind of just like brings it in, and it's like, okay, her butt is still there. Maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't compress my butt, because like they have this little stitching and it really helps like enhance. But from far away, it doesn't look like it's booty scrunch, but it looks like you have more like definition in your butt, not just like unibutt, you know what I'm saying? Not just like one lump, it's like she's got two. And the camo is very delicate, and I felt like they chose good colors, so it's not like a bright green with like a really light color. It's like all around like very subtle. I feel like from very far away you might not even know it's camo, but I really like how they designed the camo, and it's not like that pixely like military camo. It's more of like a smooth, like, I don't know, they're kind of like blobs. You see what it is, you see. And they also have a little ribbed bottom of the legging. And these are a full length on me. I'm 5'9", but I have a longer torso as opposed to legs. And these hit just about like right above my little ankle joint thing, if that makes sense, but totally full length on me. So in terms of squat proofness, I feel like it's hard to tell almost because of the camo. It kind of like camouflages the squat proof. I don't know. But looking at the video of me squatting, I'd say they're like, I give it like a 9 out of 10. I give it like a 9 out of 10 squat proofness. I feel like there's like a tiny bit of sheerness when you like really are leaning over, but it's like not too bad. But for the most part, I'd say these are squat proof and you should feel comfortable going to the gym in these. You're not gonna see anything. I was wearing like a similar colored underwear to this, but I really couldn't see anything in my squat test. In terms of camel toe, I feel like these leggings are so much thicker than like an ombre seamless that it camouflages the camel toe a lot better. You still do get a little bit of like the single camel, but you're definitely not getting any double camel, which is very important. I feel like that's the worst kind of camel toe. It's hard to get like the double camel sometimes when you have a seamless legging because there's no like seam going up there, you know? But there's definitely still a little bit, but I'd say these are probably the best Gymshark leggings to date that have camouflaged the camel toe just because the fabric is so thick. And sweat proof, I can't imagine you'd notice really any sweat in these unless you are like really, really sweaty. I don't know. But because of the camouflage, like if you were going to sweat a little bit, it'll probably just blend into the camo effect, you know, like it'll just look like one of the darker blotches instead of one of the lighter blotches. So if you're a really sweaty person, I feel like these would be good because you could really get away with a lot of sweat with not very many people noticing just because of the design. And to the sports bra. So the sports bra is the same material as the leggings. It has this cute little, like, I don't know what you'd call this, but kind of like a little fold over, like wrap-like effect in the front. And in the back, it has this like, I don't know what you would call this, but kind of like a little keyhole design. They really put a lot of thought into the design of this bra. I think it's like really unique in terms of a sports bra instead of just like a regular sports bra. But if I like that is another story, so we'll talk about that. But those are the details. And it also says Gymshark very subtly, like engraved in the fabric, like not raised or anything, in the back too. And then it has the tiny little shark logo on the front, which they probably could have done without because they have this. But yeah, those are the details of the sports bra, and they also have the ribbing at the bottom of the sports bra, much like the waistband of the legging. So I really thought this would be like zero support at all because most Gymshark sports bras are absolutely zero support. But this, I actually would say this is a medium support. It is like, there's still some jiggling going on, but I felt more supported than like a Gymshark ombre seamless sports bra, which is like really nothing to brag about. Let's talk for a moment about Gymshark sports bras, shall we? I feel like a lot of the Gymshark athletes who are the primary reviewers of the Gymshark goods, like because they get the Gymshark items early, they can review everything before people buy them, so people watch. They will often say that Gymshark is like a low, like a medium support, but most of these people have either breast implants or really small chests, which is fine, but I feel like if the average bra size in the United States, at least, the average cup size is a double D, I just feel like they're not really catering to all audiences. I do have a larger chest, and I mostly don't even bother with Gymshark sports bras. I really got this just for the review, and I plan on returning it because this is not something I can wear to the gym. If you have a larger chest, this shows a lot. Like there was spillage out of the side, there's a lot of cleavage. It really felt like a push-up bra. And I just don't feel comfortable going to the gym and showing that much cleavage and that much of my body. If you want to do that, that is like totally go you, but I really don't feel comfortable. Like I'll wear a sports bra to the gym, but I really don't want there to be like major cleavage. I feel like that's just like not what I want to do. And also most of Gymshark sports bras are so low support. They have seriously like one line of supportive sports bras. So everything else is like, you can't have a supportive sports bra to match with your Gymshark set because they don't make them for women with larger chests, which just really bothers me. Or like maybe for a collection for once, you don't make like a spaghetti strap sports bra and you make like something a little more supportive. Or instead of having removable pads, you like build the pad into the bra. So I really wish Gymshark would start making their bras a little more like inclusive to women of all chest sizes and stop doing the removable pads and actually like put pads in. So that's my rant on Gymshark sports bras. The pads on this didn't bother me quite as much as some of the other Gymshark pads, but I still don't love that they're removable, obviously. But since this material is a more sturdy, thicker material than a lot of other Gymshark fabrics, it did provide a little more support. I also got this in a small. I don't know if I mentioned, I got to get a small and everything. I also got this in a small, and because of that, it really just like squished my boobs down, which I feel like is why it was able to give some support. If I got a medium, I don't think that this would be supportive at all. But just keep it in mind, if you have a larger chest, you will be showing a lot of cleavage in this. And if you're not down for that, maybe just get the long sleeve top instead. If you have a smaller chest or you want to show some cleavage, go for this bra because it's super cute, and I wish that I was able to wear it. I definitely have friends who would look amazing in this, and a lot of people would look amazing in this. So if you are in that boat, I'd say the sports bra is definitely super cute, and I really don't have any other complaints about it. I think it's a super unique design, and I haven't really seen any other sports bras like this. So yeah, that is basically all I have to say about the Gymshark Camo Seamless set. I got this mostly to review, but I really want to keep it because it's so cute. But I have a lot of gym clothes. Also, a lot of you guys think I have like so many gym clothes, but I return like half the things that I buy, or I sell them. So I really don't have as many as you think, but I will make a legging collection video coming up soon because I know that a lot of you want to see that. And don't forget to go to my last video and enter my giveaway. You just have to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and comment down below on that video. If you want to win some Lululemon or Gymshark, you should go do that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!